Welcome back to Veda's classes. Today we are going to learn about chapter number 1, The Living World, Adaptations and Classifications of Standard 7th of Subject Science. A great variety of plants are found on the earth. Some have colorful flowers, some grows in water, whereas some are found in deserts. Some plants are found only in snowy regions. Some are microscopic in nature. Like plants, animals to show diversity. Now look at this picture. You can see different plants and animals. Coniferous trees like pine and devdar flourish in only snowy regions like Kashmir. Can you find these trees in deserts like in Rajasthan? Camel is a desert animal. Why he does not find in Kashmir? What is the difference? The difference is adaptation. Adaptation is nothing but gradual changes occur in the body parts and also in the behavior of organisms which help them to adjust to their surroundings. Such changes are called adaptations. They take place over a long period of time. Adaptation in plants. So in that we will see first adaptation in aquatic plants. Look at this picture. Some plants are firmly rooted in the soil at the bottom of the water bodies. Here you can see these plants which are firmly rooted the bottom of the soil of these water bodies. The stems are submerged. Submerged means half of the root is outside the water. Here, outside the water. And their leaves and flowers float. See, you can see their leaves and flowers float on the surface of the water. And some are entirely afloat. Some are entirely afloat like these. These are entirely afloat, means their roots are not anchored in the soil of water bodies. Now you may have questioned that why don't the leaves of these plants rot in water? The reason is these plants covered with a waxy layer and they have thin and slender leaves like a ribbon which helps to stand in fast water current. And how they float? Yes, how they float? Because they have air spaces in stems and petioles of aquatic plants are used for floating in water. They have air spaces and petioles in their stems. And what about roots? Yes, the roots of these aquatic plants are short and fibrous because they do not depend on the roots for strength and water as they are not rooted in the soil firmly. That's why the roots of aquatic plants are short and fibrous. And the leaves of aquatic plants absorb the water for growth. Adaptation in desert plants. Desert plants are either leafless or their leaves are like small needles or modified into thorns. For example, cactus plants. Because of this modification, they lose little water by evaporation in deserts. The stem stores water and food, therefore they are fleshy. The stem perform photosynthesis instead of leaves because the desert plants are either leafless or their leaves are modified into small needles. Some characteristics of desert plants. They have thick waxy skin to reduce loss of water and to reflect heat. Second one, they have large fleshy stems to store water. They have thorns and thin spiky or glossy leaves to reduce water loss. They have spikes to protect cacti from animals wishing to use stored water, and they have deep roots to tap groundwater for their growth. Look at this picture. There are some examples of cactus and desert plants. Adaptation in plants of snowy regions. Plants of snowy regions mainly include conifers like deodar and pine. These trees are conical in shape due to their sloping branches. In the heavy snowfall and extreme cold in these regions, their conical shape prevents the snow from accumulating, means the addition their consumption on the tree, and the thick bark helps them to tree withstand in the cold region. Adaptation in plants of forest region. A variety of plants, trees, shrubs, and herbs are found in forests. These plants compete among themselves for sunlight. Compete means they will fight, okay, for getting sunlight. As they have in this region, you can see variety of trees, shrubs, and herbs. Hence, trees grow tall to get sunlight, and climbers and vines grow to great height with the support of these trees. Spring-like tendrils on the stems of some climbers is an example of adaptation. You can see some spring-like tendrils on the stems of some climbers is an example of adaptation to get more sunlight. Examples are cucumber. You can see in cucumber plants. Some tendrils are there on their stems. Adaptation in grassland plants. Diverse types of bushes and grasses. Here you cannot see any trees. Okay. Diverse types of bushes and grasses are found in the grasslands, and they have fibrous roots. So because of these roots, grasses prevent soil erosion. Forests in the equatorial region are dense. Animals like tiger, elephants, and deer can remain hidden in these grasses. However, grasses in cold regions are very short in their height. Animals like the rabbit are found in such grasses. Vast meadows are found in hilly areas as well as on plains. Adaptation for ingestion of food in plants. Most of the plants are autotrophic, means they can produce their own food by means of photosynthesis. But some plants are heterotrophic too, means these plants are dependent on other plants. Plants like parasitic plants are dependent on other plants for their food. So in that first example is the Cuscuta, a parasitic plant. This plant consists of yellow wire-like stem, and this is leafless plant and which cannot perform photosynthesis. And it has hostorial or you can say sucking roots for absorbing nutrients from the host plant. The second example is insectivorous plants. Plants needs nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium for their growth. But these plants grow in nitrogen deficient soil. So they fulfill their nitrogen need by consuming insects. So in this example is Venus flytrap, and they have the adaptation like they attract the insect and hold them captive. Second example, Drosera or sundew, and the third one is the fungi. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos, subscribe Vedas classes.